those who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, ThirstTrap, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad,
ThirstTrap. Welcome, 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 one and all. Welcome, 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 one and all. Ladies, gentlemen, non-gender conforming individuals to another episode of Clickbaity, Political Thirst Trap. I am one of your two hosts, on a team of 5 or 6 or 7 or even a couple of thousand, if you think about it, because we consider y'all family also. But so our dear brother Mondale, getting a little rest, relaxation. He was a little under the weather today, so I decided to go ahead and bring on my partner in crime, delicious in the flesh, Darren Smith. Man, what's going on, Darren? How are you, man? Welcome back to the trap.
Look, as they say in church, I'm just glad to be in the service one more time, man. So always a pleasure being in the political thirst trap with you and of course the Trap Squad members, the Squirrel.
That's right, man. Listen, is that Kurt Franklin Church?
Oh,
or is that is that?
Hey man, I want to say what you did a couple of nights ago, man, but I can't because I got this poster behind me. But
One more time, nickel. Oh. One more time.
Right.
That is good to be in church, and you were right. No,
silver and gold. So
yeah. Hey, shout out to Dust Lord for our wonderful intros, and shout out once again to Dante makes beats. And could someone please get Tunde or could someone please get Darren the stories for tonight? But you could go off top, but we're going to go a little deep into stories tonight because it's a crazy ass world right now. And to be honest with you, man, I would be remiss if I didn't start with my own town here in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Georgia spa shootings. We're just gonna get into it. White men are dangerous. Why black people are over-criminalized, why indigenous people are over-criminalized, why brown people are over-criminalized, and have more police officers in our neighborhoods, and have more policing in our neighborhoods, when, to be honest with you, the most dangerous individuals when it comes down to American terrorism, and let's call it American terrorism.
Call it what it is.
Let's call it terrorism. Because when you go into a salon because you got fantasies of sisters of a different persuasion that don't want nothing to do with your punk ass, and you go in there and you start shooting people, you're a terrorist. Listen, that white boy ain't got no game. That white boy ain't got no heart. That white boy probably ain't had sex in a real long time.
He gonna get enough of it soon.
Oh, he gonna get it a lot. He gonna get a lot. That's right. That's right, D. It's terrorism. So he decides, and see, here's the problem. When white men get angry in America, They do way more damage than anybody else when they get angry. Because we can't even get that far. Because we know that we're not even going to get an opportunity to go to jail. See, this white man was brought in after these shootings, and I'm going to get into the story real quick but hopefully for those of you who don't know, let me just read the story real quick because I'm so frustrated about it. Like, this is from USA Today, but to be honest with you, I really honestly don't even need to go into USA Today because I can tell you exactly what happened. But 8 people, most of them women of Asian descent, were killed last night in three shootings in Atlanta area spas before police arrested a 21-year-old man suspected of being the lone gunman. Police said the suspect, and this is from USA Today, police said the suspect, Robert Aaron Long, 21, of Woodstock, Georgia, told authorities that his actions were not racially motivated and that he frequented some of the spas where the shootings happened. Cherokee County Sheriff Office spokesman Captain Jay Baker said Long viewed the spas, which are all listed on a prominent illicit massage parlor matching website, like that fucking matters. Like that matters. A temptation he wanted to eliminate. Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant said it was too soon in the investigation to say whether the shootings were a hate crime. We are just not there as of yet, Bryant said during the Wednesday morning news conference. The killings came amid a recent wave of attacks against Asian Americans that coincided with the spread of the coronavirus across the United States. It happened in Ackworth, Georgia, about 30 miles north of Atlanta, but it's the Atlanta metro area. If you know Georgia, you know they're pretty much 45 to 50 miles outside of Atlanta is the Atlanta metro area, no matter how you try to cover it. Now, let's get into this real quick. My thoughts are very simple. Police need to stop capping for white men. Police need to stop curtailing white men. Police need to stop babying white men. Police need to start treating white men the same way they treat everyone else. When we get policed in America right now, if we even look at a cop the wrong way, the cop will pull you over. Well, but if you're a white guy, you can get brought in safely after shooting 8 people, killing people. Police officers don't call it terrorism, but they're quick to call us thugs. They're quick to call us gang members and violence, and never retract their statements about black and brown people. My prayers go out to all the families that were impacted, all the victims of terrorism. My prayers go out, and my solidarity and my love goes to the AAPI community of my community. Man, my prayers go out to my community. This was violence in my community. This is violence a couple of miles up the road from where I'm sitting right now. Violence, terrorism. And I want police departments to start calling it that. I want police departments to start going out of their way to patrol white neighborhoods the same way they patrol the SWATs and Auburn Avenue. See, Wody hear me. Wody getting mad at me right now. Wody mad as me right now about this. Yeah. So these guys are claiming this guy's claiming mental illness, right? And I mean, at this point, at this point, my prayers go out to the family. What you got on this, D?
Well, first of all, for him to claim mental illness, that's not surprising. That's the excuse that they use. Mental illness for this guy. I think it was somebody last week that talked about they had diabetes for the reason. I think that what the basketball announcer, for calling somebody the N-word, claimed that because he was low on the sugar, that's the reason why he did what he did. So he blamed it on that. What I like to see, based off of what you said, I want to see police officers profiling white people like they do us. Now, I know that might be asking for too much, but when you have the sheriff that's talking about today that this guy had a bad day, I don't know about you, Marcus, but when I've had bad days, I've been down on my knees and I pray to the Lord and leave that in his hands. I don't go around trying to shoot 8 people, 6 of them being of Asian descent, especially six Asian women. So what this shows is not only the hypocrisy that we see from the justice system and the police system versus members of other races, but the sheer fact that white people, as you put it so eloquently, get treated with kid gloves, get babied. Now, it's frustrating because, like I said, this guy is claiming mental illness. But I can assure you, and look, and I'll share with people. I have a niece that was arrested 2 weeks ago for killing her boyfriend, and she has true mental illness or whatever. But but they're trying to, of course, put her in prison versus a mental health institution versus for what she has done. So. Prayers to my sister and her family with what's going on. That's with right. That. She was in the wrong. Now, I'm not going to say she was in the right. She was in the wrong for what she did. She did do that. The guy was on the phone with the police or whatever but she's got some serious mental issues that for whatever reason why they were together, I don't know. But going back to this particular suspect, the fact that, like you said, he was brought in with kid gloves, he wasn't gunned down. I mean, we don't even have the opportunity, not that we would even want to do something like this, but we don't even have the opportunity to get away with something like this or to get away with something even remotely similar to this. If one, we're not called thugs. We're not called, amongst other things, as Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, said that, he'd be afraid of people who look like us. I mean, this is bad on every stretch of the level. Fortunately, obviously, because of the press that it's getting now, it's getting the just due attention that it is. I mean, and the fact that he went after people that couldn't defend themselves. Like you have these sexual desires, but instead of you going to a strip club, you go to a masseuse parlor, and this is what you do. I don't know, man. I mean, it's stuff like this that make me want to put hands on people, but we just don't. I never get that lucky.
Strap up, America.
Facts.
Strap up, America. Learn.
Use that stimulus that you get to, if you have to, arm yourself.
Arm yourself, and learn how to use firearm. Even though I don't, this was an ambush, it was a terroristic ambush. Strap up, America. Like start going and learning how to use, learning how to have a responsible gun ownership. Because, and I'm going to tell you the truth, I don't have my arsenal at my house to go out and be flashy or threaten someone. I'm not doing that. And I got it because I literally have the guns that I have right now because white men are losing their goddamn mind in this country. And other white men are protecting them.
Yeah.
Like this sheriff right here.
We did interview him last night. He is currently in our facility at the Cherokee County Adult Detention Center. We were able to interview him with the Atlanta Police Department and FBI. He made indicators that he has some issues, potentially sexual addiction, and may have frequented some of these places in the past. But as the chief indicated, it's still early on. We still have a lot of things to process, and so he should be at an arraignment tomorrow at some time early morning to late morning, and we will keep you up to date.
Was that wasn't the clip that I wanted to see? The clip that I wanted to see was when the guy said that he was having a bad day. But that's fine because that's some basic information. But the sheriff basically said, these guys are having a bad day. Well, let me tell you who had a bad day. Matter of fact, let me tell you whose life was bad and ended. Delana Ashley Wan, 33, from Ackworth. Paul Andre Michaels, 54, of Atlanta. I want to say Zhaojie Yan, 49, of Kennesaw. Dayu Fang, 44, and a 30-year-old Hispanic man. They had a bad day.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what kind of day that dude had. And the over sexualization. Thank you, Stacy, for your super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support and love. They need to call it what it is. Asians' lives matter. You're goddamn right they do. Asian lives do goddamn matter. Asian lives matter, folks. That's real. That's real. Ain't no cap. Like, no cap. Like,
yeah, fuck that all lives matter stuff. It is. Right.
Yeah, no cap. Like, let's stop trying to over sexualize women of color. Let's try to stop having these racist tropes that feed into things that make your little white boy friends go crazy and want to go shoot up some shit. Asian lives matter, folks. I'm so frustrated, man. Man, I'm over here about to have a goddamn tear in my eye, man. Listen.
Oh, I already have it. You ain't got to.
Yeah.
Because loss of life, especially in that manner, when they're not expecting it. They can't defend themselves. They don't have any place to run. There's no one there to help them. I mean, and because some guy has some sick fucking fantasy that he can't. And
yeah, I mean, like, yo, first, okay, you know what? And I'm gonna also say something else. This is a little bit deeper. Screw the media also. Screw the media for bringing up that those parlors were on a website that had illicit activity for massage parlors. That's shooting a black man and saying he used to sell weed. You victim
trying to
blaming.
find an excuse to normalize what he did.
Yeah.
And trying to make an excuse for what he did instead of just taking the crime at what it was. Like you said, domestic terrorism, because if it was anybody else or if it's someone from another country, look, I mean, I think back to back in Las Vegas where it was a white person that shot up 50 people at a concert at a concert in Vegas from a hotel room or whatever, but it didn't get this, it didn't even get the same type of media thing that this should be getting. I mean, this is stuff that white people do and they try to normalize it like it's okay, and like you said, like they have the right or like they have the exclusivity for mental illness. I mean, the dude was fucked up in the head, obviously, to be able to do what he did. But to think that he is going to be, going to get off on some type of mental illness or whatever because he has some sexual fantasies or sexual desires that he can't seem to control, that's just an excuse. And I'm hoping, because I know we're looking forward to possibly hearing the clip, but the sheriff saying what he said about this guy having a bad day, it's little cold words like that makes me wonder whether or not this sheriff, not that he maybe agrees with it, but is
call it what it is. He agrees with it.
Okay.
Call it what it is. It's not a crime against white folks. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. We need to stop capping. Every single time we don't call it what it is, gives them more credence to say more BS about a person of color, about a black person, about an Asian person, listen, the sheriff, when he said the guy was having a bad day, that's racist.
Oh yeah.
That's racist.
Well, what I hope is that the Mayor Bottoms will relieve him of his duty, because you cannot say that and not even try to clean that up and think it's going to be okay.
Dwayne, would you check Infinite Content's comment out, and maybe somebody can head over to Twitter to the inbox and find some more information, because I am interested in what Infinite Content just said. I'm about to send you a follow-up story about the cop who made bad day comment. Check your Twitter inboxes.
It said the cop who said the spot shooter had a bad day previously posted a racist shirt blaming China for the pandemic. Well, there we go.
There you go.
There it is. I mean... Well, what kind of background checks do they do down there?
From the USA Today article, he apparently has an issue which he considers a sex addiction and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and that's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate. How about you pull your pants up and stay inside the house? How about you just go masturbate in front of your little computer? Find you a tweezer and try to get yourself off, tiny penis boy. Listen, I'm not trying to be that vulgar, but that's what Soft.
Look, man,
That's a soft ass mother. That's
for what he did, and I don't condone it because of the seriousness of it that takes place in prison. However, he's someone I'll make an exception for, where I hope somebody out of beasts him. Let me just leave it at that.
no, but you know what though? Even though I don't condone violence in prisons, boy, listen. I hope he has a bad day in prison. I hope somebody in prison has a bad day. Many bad days. Many bad days. Dwayne, let's run that clip of what the sheriff said.
The investigators, they interviewed him this morning, and they got that impression that yes, he understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Remorseful?
I'm not going to go to. I don't know if he was remorseful or not.
He's a pretty young guy with your.
First off,
See, no, right there, Marcus. I blame the media because for someone to say that, if you're not on your game, that you don't come and say, hold on, he had a bad day, but what the hell you think the other people had after, when all this is said and done? The media dropped the ball with the follow up on that.
well, I mean, it's because that's his neighbor. It's because he thinks like that. It's because having a bad day is empathy. That cop has empathy for a terrorist. Yet you don't have an empathy for all the black people that got killed unarmed by your own police departments. You have empathy for an American white male terrorist, but you probably go home and get mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking the knee. A bad day. What kind of white bullshit is that? What kind of toxic whiteness allows you to say that somebody has a bad day and you're the official representative of the government? You're supposed to be doing an investigation to figure out what happened to get justice. Having a bad day is an empathetic statement that allows for a narrative to be created. So when this guy goes and gets tried over it, now everybody who watched that says, well, maybe he was just having a bad day. You know what I do when I go have a bad day? When I'm having a real bad day, I jump on the Peloton and then I go find me some cannabis. When I'm having a real bad day, I go do me a 45-minute hit ride and then go find me some cannabis. And I might get lit. And y'all know I like cigars, right? None of that had to do with going to a place with Asian people in the AAPI community and shooting them because I can't get none. Soft ass motherfucker.
His day is coming. He's going to get his.
So, Trap Squad, listen, before we move off this subject, I just want to make sure that we, oh yeah, now I got it. There you go. The cop who said the spot shooter had a bad day. Thank you, Infinite Content. You are dope. The cop who said the spot shooter had a bad day previously posted a racist shirt blaming China for the pandemic. And it says COVID-19 and imported virus from China. Okay. Let me tell you something else when it comes down to that right there. This is very important. Y'all think Trump didn't do anything? Trump, that's right. I'm bringing his name up. Trump has something to do with this. Because the anti-Asian sentiments that came from Trump using statements like the China virus. Fox News is to blame for it. Glenn Beck to blame for it. All these conservative pundits and the president and Candace Owens with her struggle edges. That's right. I saw y'all in the chat room. Struggle edges had a problem with it too. China virus. Now people are dead because y'all create a narrative. Violence against Asian Americans are going up and up and up and up and up and up. Didn't y'all get the memo? Asian people were supposed to be off limits from the 50s. Now y'all going after them. Nobody got it easy in this country, man. These people over here doing their jobs, making money and working and doing whatever they got to do, right? But maybe I'm crazy because I'll tell you like this right here. I think sex work should be legal anyway. So even if that place was a hot mess, marijuana needs to be legal, sex work needs to be legal. If people want to pay to go get some, that's on them. That's their business. But no one deserves to get shot and killed because you got a sex addiction that you can't get over. Go see a fucking therapist. My condolences. I'm sending my condolences to the AAPI community of Atlanta. I'm sending my condolences and my love and my heart to my fellow neighbors and friends right here in Atlanta, Georgia, and in the surrounding areas. We just got impacted when people of our community, die because somebody has, insecurities and can't handle themselves. So I'm sending that out right now, and we can kind of move on unless you got something else on it, D.
The only thing I want to add to it is that because of the show title Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, politically, watch how it plays out, obviously, in the halls of Congress, where Democrats are going to want to do something and Republicans are going to do everything to block and stall and make sure that no changes take place. So this will continue to occur and we'll continue to get quote unquote thoughts and prayers and nothing else to go along with it.
I just saw this. Mayor Bottoms is victim blaming. Atlanta mayor calls police description. Oh, okay, yeah, she's okay. Spot killing, victim blaming. Yeah, that's. I mean, but cops can't help it. Cops are drawing their line in the sand. Police departments across the nation are drawing their line in the sand. Just like the Republican Party has openly became a racist party that just supports anything that's anti anyone else besides white people. The police departments are doubling down on that also. They can't even help it. It's like they didn't even go to media training or something like that. Or they forgot that taxes actually pay these departments. But I also have to say to Keisha Lance Bottoms, hey, sis, you're the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia. You can actually do something about it in the city of Atlanta.
Hello. Let's see what kind of charges he faces.
It always gets me. Yeah, she can use her. She doesn't even have to have power. She has a bully pulpit. She can put pressure on other cities because Atlanta, Georgia is that powerful in the city of Georgia. Listen, if y'all don't do something about these cops, watch what we do. You want to utilize your power. Utilize your power to actually make a difference in communities, and no more grandstanding. We need to see direct action. So yeah, we're gonna switch topics real quick.
Okay.
And what topic is that? That is our guy, Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, so we gonna stay on this sex subject, huh?
Let me tell you, right. Yeah, I guess the topic hasn't changed much, except there's not as much violence. Physically, right. Andrew Cuomo runs to black leaders for help as pressure grows for him to resign. Of course.
Oh my God, you cannot.
Of course. Listen. They will put us in jail, but as soon as they get into a little trouble, they come running back to the black church. As pressure mounts for Andrew Cuomo to resign over dueling scandals, New York Democratic governor seemed to follow an age-old political playbook. This is from News One, so black folks wrote this. An age-old political playbook by seeking refuge within the black leaders ready to defend him.
Oh, man.
Mission accomplished as Cuomo Wednesday stopped by. Come on, man. Hey, News One, I'm going to need y'all to stop advertising everything. I just want to read the article. All right, there you go. Mission accomplished. They got advertisements popping up over other advertisements. Y'all need that bread, don't y'all?
Hey, man.
Mission accomplished, as Cuomo said Wednesday. Stopped by a black church in Harlem to have a New York City's black political establishment to come to his rescue from accusations of sexual harassment and allegations. The governor knowingly rigged data about coronavirus deaths in the state's nursing home. So let's see the first black guy that steps up and says something.
I feel like if I see him on Politics Nation this weekend, then I know the fix is in.
When people start piling on you, you go to your family, you go to your friends because you know that they're going to be with you. Rangel. Oh, yeah, there you go, Charles Rangel.
Now we friends.
There you go, Charles Rangel. Come on, Charles, man. Relax, bro. You don't even need to waste your bag like that, man. Go to Cancun, Charles. Take your cane.
Wow.
Go to Cancun. You know what I mean? And send out tweets about reparations. That's what you do, Charles Rangel. You don't spend your political capital on Andrew Cuomo.
Well, he's getting something for it. I mean, it ain't coming for free.
What does he say? Due processing hearing is basically what we believe in this country. Assemblywoman Inez Dickens put it more bluntly: back off until you got some facts. Reaching out to black leaders for a political lifeline wasn't the only PR tactic Cuomo has used in hopes of taking attention away from the parade of women that have come forward with accusations of sexual harassment and at least one claim of groping a former staffer. Earlier this week, Cuomo made the move to integrate himself with lawmakers and constituents alike by ramping up efforts to make marijuana fully legal for adults in the Empire State. Listen, okay, check this out. You mean to tell me that the only time that you come out for legalization of weed, that means that everybody's using weed as their get out of jail for free card now, obviously, right? Now, you knew when you were smoking weed 30 years ago that weed needed to be legal. But you wait until all the women are surrounding you or accusing you of something, and then you decide to use weed as your opt-out. So check this out. What I find ironic is the most criminalized things that have happened in America for white politicians are the things that the Cuomo's using to try to get out. Black people and weed.
Look, as you mentioned, it's in the playbook. I mean, it's not like, his father probably wrote it. So, I mean, this is something that, is more to be expected. But again, like you mentioned, Charles Rangel and a few others who, the Harlem pastor who allowed him to come into the church to sell whatever it is he's trying to spend. Look, man, I understand bills got to get paid, but sooner or later in life, your soul has to matter. And the fact that, he's coming to use you not only to save his hide, but as a political photo prop, it's disheartening. And the fact that Joe Biden said that if these allegations are true, he needs to step down, and everybody pretty much in the New York congressional delegation has said that he needs to resign. The fact that right now his political future is in the hands of a black woman, the Attorney General in New York, and so I don't know if he's trying to do it to apply pressure on her, but I think at the end of the day, it's not going to turn out well for him. And but this tells you one thing about white people that they love the most about power. They can't get enough of it, and they never want to see to it. The only thing that power sees to is more power. And finally, he may have finally met his match. And at the end of the day, I don't have any love lost for the man one way or the other. If he's found guilty, I believe where there's smoke, there is fire. And so, he used his political position to do the things that he's being accused of. And I don't have any sympathy whatsoever for him, especially because when someone of that position uses their power, the other person obviously feels like they're weak and feels like there's nobody there to support him or anything like that. He's got to go, man. Fuck him.
Yeah, well, hey. Oh yeah. I mean, but that's right too. There's a long history. There's a long history of black people coming to save white folks.
That's exactly what it is.
Like Clyburn, right? Like Clyburn coming to save Joe Biden.
But you know what though? But hey, hold on. But you know what though, Marcus? See, now Clyburn got a lot of political sway as it led up to the election, and a little bit, after, of course, towards the inauguration with getting Marshall Fudge an administration job. But see, you want to impress me, Clyburn? Let's see you get HR 1 past the Senate and have Biden put his full force of the presidency behind that. Because to me, if Biden's going to come to you to save his presidency, well, I hope you get something worthwhile out of it.
Hey, can I make a statement real quick since you brought that up? I'm gonna make an official statement.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet. Political
ThirstTrap. You ready for it? You ready for it?
Right.
Matter of fact, Dwayne, you might want to clip this one. You ready for it? Joe Biden is a more progressive president than Obama ever was.
I knew the hell you was gonna say that shit. I knew you were gonna say it.
So while we're talking about black people, right, like saving things and doing things, right? Listen, black people literally save America over and over and over again. Black people save capitalism. Black people save capitalism. Black people save problematic white things all the time. Starting with the biggest thing of all time. You remember when the stock market crashed? It was a black person that capped for Wall Street and saved a black ass. That's right. Obama bailed out Wall Street.
2008.
Even though the victims were the American people. Black people save everything problematic and capitalistic. You know what I mean?
But we can't get our reparations. We can't get our student debt wiped out. That's asking for too much.
We need to actually have some white men that need reparations. If we could just find a couple of white guys, listen, here's the thing. And the funny part about this comment is we got people who are stepping up and speaking out about Cuomo that have never even said the word reparations. Even though Rango supports reparations, of course, Rango does support reparations. What I'm talking about is, we are willing to go out of pocket for other people and other people's issues, and we can't even get nothing for ourselves. Cuomo, if before I come out of pocket, I'm an assembly person, Cuomo, you want me to support you? Then make an executive order saying that reparations is now effective in New York. Come on now. I mean, they got to give us something at some point, right? And before we go into the break, I just want to give a shout out to Infinite Content. I want to give a shout out to all the people watching us right now. I also want to touch on one last story real quick. And this is also from News One. And this is just the one that trips me out the most.
Ron Johnson.
Maybe we should rename this the white people episode, man. Because white people are a trip, man. Y'all are dope. Y'all are so dope sometimes, but then sometimes y'all just be some of y'all cousins, man. That's what I think it is. Some of y'all cousins, I don't know. You ready for this title?
I'm afraid.
United Negro College Fund elects its first ever African American chair of the board in its nearly 77-year history.
Damn, I wasn't ready for that one.
Wow. You ready to do it again? I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read it again, just so y'all are clear. Just so y'all are clear about what I just said. The United Negro College Fund elects its first ever African American chair of the board in its nearly 77-year history. Now, here's my question: who been running it?
I'm trying to figure out too. Wow. Wow. I need that link sent to me because that is just irony at wow.
I want to read the article, but I can't focus because the title just got me. Okay, where's the comment? It was Rachel Dolezal.
Rachel Dolezal, yeah. Oh, wow. Dude, but that is seriously, I'm saying, because now, well, look, I guess if you never think about it, you just assume, and we know what assuming means, but really, dude, I mean, I'd never even thought about it. I would have just thought that, Bill Cosby donating all that money over the years and stuff like that. You would have thought that they just had wow.
I'm at a loss. We're gonna take a break real quick, but before we take a break, and also the second half of this show, since I do have, listen, I know y'all want nothing but politics, man, but I got one of the greatest sports minds in the game on the show with me right now, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of time talking about the NFL offseason. The only reason why is because racist. But before we get there, Darren Smith, man, how can they find you, and what are you up to since the Super Bowl, man, and what you got going on, my brother?
Well, I've been talked off the ledge, so the Chiefs ass whipping that took place. I finally calmed down, and I'm over it. I never want to watch the Super Bowl 55 ever again. I'm never going to see it, no matter how many times the NFL Network tries to replay it. They can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Darren Smith 816. On Instagram it's Darren Smith WHP. No, it's Darren Smith 816. But no, just right now I'm preparing to do a sports show or a podcast with Pat Mahomes Sr., the father, real soon, and we'll have Patrick Mahomes Jr. We'll have Patrick Mahomes on there weekly when we start it up in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. Yeah,
big time.
We try to keep it under wraps, but I figure I can talk amongst family, what I try. So don't blow it up too much because I don't want Chiefs to find out about it. But all that being said, no, just same as everyone else.
Let's tweet Trap Squad. Let's tweet that news out on Twitter right now. We ain't gonna tell nobody else there.
But all that being said, look, man, just real happy. Oh, wow. Right. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. That's like the voice of God telling me that Smokey's taking the shit. I don't want to hear all that right now. But no, man, look, man, just doing my daily show. And then, of course, I'm on the weekends as well on Sports Radio 810 WHB and ESPN Kansas City. So right now, March Madness, we have the NAIA tournament that's starting in Kansas City tomorrow. So I'll be down there doing shows from down there and covering the tournament down there here in Kansas City before, obviously, the NCAA starts up this weekend in Indianapolis. So a lot of sports.
We got to talk about Jackson State too, brother. We got to talk about Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
We'll do that in the second half. We're going to get a little sports bally, but don't go away because I do got one more article that we're going to cover. But you're now rocking with the best. This is Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Please follow us, like, share, subscribe. Look, we got a couple hundred people watching us right now. Please stop what you're doing, like it. Don't forget, we classify ourselves as a podcast. We've been classifying ourselves as a podcast since we started, and now we have a podcast. So please, guys, go check us out on Apple Podcasts. I think we're on everything, right? Matter of fact, we probably need to change the little running board there, Dwayne, at some point. Where all our podcasts are. And also we are on, what are we on? What's the name of this app? All these apps. And, I try to get on everything. Hold on one second. We are on Clubhouse. That's right. We're on Clubhouse. Please come if you're on Clubhouse, if you are watching Clubhouse, if you're a part of Clubhouse, please come to Clubhouse. The name of our group is Clickbaity Cafe. Clickbaity Cafe.
And I gotta say, Marcus, that's a dope ass hat, which looks like it could go with this suit. I mean, I don't know how the lighting is, but that is a dope ass hat.
I got one that matches that suit. I got one that matches that suit perfectly, my brother. But my problem is that I have a head the size of a watermelon. So I don't want it to come down here. I don't want to come down here. On you, bro. But with that being said, we're gonna take a break real quick. We'll be right back.
Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Trap squad, 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 trap squad.
Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap
Hey,
squad,
let me hear ya.
trap squad, trap squad.
Throw those squirrels up if you with it.
Trap squad, trap squad.
Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
Clickbaity, thirst trap.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap
Hey,
squad.
let me hear ya.
Trap squad, trap squad.
Throw those squirrels up if you with it.
Trap squad, trap squad.
Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
Clickbaity, thirst trap.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, the second half of it. You're still rocking with the best. Darren Smith, Marcus Farrell, Mondale Robinson at the crib, taking care of himself, taking care of his health. Mondale Robinson is a very important political character in America. People don't really understand that. So when that brother says, I need to take some rest, I go ahead and let him do it. Because it's better for all of us at the end, you know?
Oh, yeah. A well-rested Mondale is a good Mondale.
A real rested Mondale is good, but he was tired as hell last night, but he was still on. Like, I love it, man. Like he came. Y'all don't even understand Trap Squad. Like, before the show started, I know my dog is tired. Like he's been going through a couple of tough things. I mean, he's all right, but he's a little tired. And right before the show, I called him. I was like, "Hey, man, you can come on?" He was like, "Man, I'm coming on, but it's gonna be on my phone, man." I'm like, nigga, just relax. Like, don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna call up D real quick, man. We're gonna do this thing for you tonight, man. Just jump in the room, man. So, Brother Mondale, we see you. Yeah, we see you. And I just real quick before we move on, I do want to bring up one comment that Deborah Tony Jones said on Facebook about the United Negro College Fund. She said, I need an audit. I need an audit. You know they embezzled way too much money. I need a report where my money went. Check and balance. You damn right. Deborah, you damn right. Check and balance. Because if a black person wasn't in charge of the United Negro College Fund, exactly what were we doing here?
Well, yeah, you got something to think about it. You got something
crazy.
Now, the one thing I know about white folk are not going to put black folk in charge of money. So that is a good point. She needs to find out where that money been going.
I kind of feel like that what they won't do for love moment when you found out that the guy who sang that was white. I kind of feel like wait, what? Huh? How did that go down? Hey, listen, I'm gonna change topics real quick. First off, shout out. Let's start this like this right here. And Dwayne, just follow me because you're gonna feel the flow of this real quick, right? Shout out to Jackson State University for possibly being one of the baddest in recent history HBCU football teams ever compiled together. They have the highest amount of 5-star, 4-star, and 3-star recruits on their team right now since the late 70s when it comes down to before the modern era of recruiting. And that is all thanks to Deion Sanders. I mean, not only having star power, but also just being a genius football mind. Like Deion, ever since Deion has left, he's been he's talked about football, but he's also been a coach in South Florida. And a couple of things that happened with Deion. Florida State University interviewed Deion, and they didn't give him the job. And I'm still mad about that. Come on, Seminoles. My Seminoles didn't give Deion a job, and now we suck, and Jackson State could probably beat us. Right? Imagine if Deion Sanders was at Florida State. But more importantly, it brings up a conversation that we had earlier, and I wanted to touch on this real quick, and this, especially with you being here, D. If you are a phenom high school basketball player, and you know you have to spend 1 year out of high school before you go to the pros, what is the point of going to a white college? Why don't they all go to HBCUs? You're gonna go pro anyway. What you think?
You know why? I would say outside of the kid that's playing up at Howard, I think the reason why is because the ego push, because you're quote unquote not on television. You don't get the big games on ESPN. You don't have Dick Vitale calling your games, and so to me that's the biggest reason why you don't see a lot of that. Plus their parents, if their parents never gone to college, their parents can't tell them about the HBCU experience, so to speak. Like Chris Paul said that he always wanted to go to HBCU, but one, they didn't recruit him because he was highly recruited or whatever. And even though he lived in the area where there were HBCUs, that was just something that he never got a chance to personally experience. So that's why he does what he does currently for HBCUs. But to get back to your point, I've always said that, and I agree exactly what you said, that it fits me. But I'm a product of an HBCU, so I'm biased towards it. So I know what the experience part can do for you. And plus, let's be honest. It's nothing against it, but depending on what school you go to, some young black males, they like the other persuasion, and you might not see that at some, at a Howard or a Morehouse. Well, you're not gonna see the Morehouse anyway, but if you go to one of those schools, Southern or Florida A&M, you might not see that, and so. That's something.
You're gonna see enough at Southern and Florida A&M, though. I don't care who you are. I don't look. I don't care if you
might be of the Creole persuasion.
Green people. You're gonna see exactly what you want to see, no matter what color you are when you walk across the set on the hill. That's all I know.
No doubt. But
what I was gonna say is it might be another thing also, because don't forget what happened to Deion Sanders after his during his first game at Jackson State, Jackson, Mississippi.
Even before the game, he had his boombox stolen.
Dog, they stole Deion Sanders stuff from the office, and this is their home game, and they stole the stuff from the office. Y'all making HBCUs look crazy, man. Y'all need to cut that out. But what I'm starting to see. More recently is this investment in HBCUs from outside sources that usually would ignore HBCUs. We've been seeing it a lot recently with NBA players talking about HBCUs, and we'll get back to that in a second. We've seen it a whole lot in like corporations, and especially with the advent of Black Lives Matter and the advent of Black equity in America. HBCUs are starting to get elevated. Corporations are starting to send more money to HBCUs, which concerns me a little bit, because it's also like I don't want our HBCUs to turn into neoliberal organizations churning out Black neoliberal people, which we've historically have done. I hate to be like that, but HBCUs, they create the Obama fights. We don't care. We don't care what if Obama did anything. I got mine. I just need to see a Black president, right? But it's also a good thing, because our colleges and our communities have been so underfunded. If we talk about right here, Morris Brown literally shut down. I think they shut down. They were close to shutting down, right? Schools losing accreditations, right? Not being able to keep their doors open, right? And and the only thing that we're having is our marching bands, right? And our sports programs not being adequately funded. But then there's LeBron. I want to go to LeBron, man. First, before we move into the story, LeBron James, and I said this before, but LeBron James just created a contract with Florida A&M University and Nike, where not only do FAMU graduates get an opportunity to intern at Nike itself, which should have been happening years ago,
They should be interning while they're in college versus after. Hopefully, when they graduate, they'll get a job. So it should be the other way around. But
right. It is. I mean, let's just deal with it as it comes. But also, the King James Crown logo will be on all of Florida A&M's swag, right? All of it. The football team, the basketball team, girls, volleyball team, baseball team. They instead of a Nike check, and it is the first college. FAMU is the first college that Nike has given anything but a Nike check or a Jordan sign like this North Carolina sign I have right here. I got my Jordan jersey on today. Speaking of, not a HBCU, but it is what it is. The GOAT.
No arguments there.
Yeah, the GOAT. We're not gonna do that LeBron Jordan thing. Jordan's the GOAT. And so it's history being made. And he also has a signature shoe that was out. But LeBron is doing more than that. LeBron is out here buying baseball teams. LeBron James become the part owner of the Boston Red Sox and joins the Fenway Sports Group as a partner.
LeBron is trying to get his Patrick Mahomes going right now because, Patrick Mahomes is a part owner of the Kansas City Royals.
So James, LeBron already owned 2% of Liverpool, the English Premier League champion, which, by the way, if LeBron James owns 2% of Liverpool, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Because that is one of the most expensive sports franchises in the history of Earth, Liverpool. FSG is among the largest sports ownership entities in the world. James' involvement will only increase its reach. In addition to James coming on board, FSG receives a $750 million investment from Redbird Capital Partners, and according to the Boston Globe, which first reported James' ownership stake. LeBron says, I think for me and my partner Maverick, to be the two first black men to be a part of our ownership group in history of that franchise is pretty damn cool, right? So we all know that Boston is a racist ass city. Boston is racist. Still to this day. So I'm pretty sure that somebody, and LeBron, didn't he beat the Celtics to get to the finals?
He did.
So there's some white people in Boston right now that are really mad. But shout out to LeBron James, man, for making that move, man. What you think?
No, I think it's good. I think this is what he's doing. He's expanding his portfolio. And this is going to be easier for him once his playing days are over with to in his next life, because he wants to be an NBA owner. He can't buy into an NFL or an NBA team for some reason as a player, as a current player. So he has to wait till he retires. But he is able to do what he's doing now, kind of like what Patrick Mahomes is doing. So for him, I like it. He doesn't want Michael Jordan to be the only game in town. So things that Michael does, he's trying to do as well. So
I mean, literally has the same movie, Space Jam 2.
Right, right. But look, no hate on LeBron. What he's doing is great. I mean, he has an entertainment with Spring Hill Entertainment out in Hollywood, which is making big moves. I like it. I mean, he's got his footprint and everything, and again, he's putting himself and his group, Maverick, Carter, Rich, and all them. He's putting them in positions to where they can also help people, who look like us, that come from their community. As you mentioned, the relationship that he built or that he has with Nike and Florida A&M. I mean, this is all part of a big, plan that he has in store. And so I like it. I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. And I can't wait to see what his next venture is going to be after this.
Okay. A couple of sports ball questions for you. I'm just gonna throw them out to you real quick, and then we're gonna move back because I got one more story for you. As a matter of fact, Dwayne, Tunde, y'all got some sports questions? Go ahead and line them up. You can be the ear god and ask him, but I got two first. All right. Sports ball question. First sports ball question. Where is Deshaun Watson going?
Well, let me say this. As long as those allegations aren't true, I would say that I could see him going. The Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Allegations?
Yeah.
What allegations? You got to come with that. What Deshaun did?
Well, he's been accused of fooling around at a masseuse parlor with one lady in particular, but then I guess there's supposed to be 3 or 4 other women coming out against him. So perhaps this is a witch hunt with the Houston Texans trying to go after him because he doesn't want to play for them anymore. And now all this stuff is starting to sprout up. But that was something that was released on yesterday, where some entertainment lawyer in Houston said that he was filing a lawsuit against Deshaun Watson for inappropriate.
My thing is, okay, wait a minute, pause. My thing is, how do you have a lawsuit against the guy going to a massage parlor, even if he's paying to get a little something? How do you sue him for that? Like, what did he do? I mean, I understand, the law.
They're saying, they're saying he might have exposed.
Explain that to me.
I can just read. I just read the article, and this just literally just posted on ESPN. But it says the 2 civil lawsuits were filed against Deshaun Watson, alleging inappropriate conduct during massages on 2 separate occasions by 2 separate plaintiffs. Of course, the first one was filed Tuesday night. The other one was filed, I believe, Wednesday earlier today. When they said that the second incident occurred on August 28th, 2020. So again, I'm someone who is, believes in the presumption of innocence. Deshaun, he did respond on Twitter on last night saying that he rejected a baseless 6-figure settlement demand, and that this is about clearing his name and looking forward to it. And at the time of his statement, Watson said he had not seen the first lawsuit. He also said that he's never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect. So, again, people can go and look at the article as it relates to description of what was allegedly done. But yeah, I don't. This is a clickbaity political thirst trap, quote unquote, family show, so I don't want to get too detailed in too graphic in the details.
It's all good. Dr. Claw 77 says that lawyer was the neighbor of the former owner of the Texans, and if that's true,
I'm with you. But to answer your football question, if he is traded, I know the Carolina Panthers said that they're going all in to try to get him in a trade. But right now, I mean, I think as it relates to him, because of this stuff that has just popped up the last day or so, I'm not sure whether or not there's going to be any traction on that. I'd like to see him in San Francisco, but to be quite honest, if look, they've already gotten their last head coach as well as their current GM from the Patriots. I'd love to see Deshaun Watson up in New England right now. With the acquisitions that the Patriots have gotten this week, you just signed Cam Newton to a deal. He'll trade Cam Newton to the Texans for Deshaun Watson, and I guarantee you, with that defense is going to be back with the players that opted out last year, and with the 2 tight ends and adequate receivers, I think Deshaun Watson could have that team in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs next year, if that were to happen. But
hey, man, the Patriots are going to be back, and I hate them. But I don't know what it is.
Got to respect what they do, yeah.
Man.
I mean,
all right. Second question.
Look, Belichick.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point.
No, I was just going to say, Belichick, seeing what Tom Brady did last year, realized, okay, I got to get back on my game. And so that's why you see them making the moves. And it's just, look, today is the official first day of free agency. So, I mean, they still have more moves that they plan on making before the draft. So,
all right, we're going to try to bring, I mean, of course you're coming back on. We're going to come back on and talk about, we might as well just go ahead and do our little sports thing real quick. But before I let you move on, and Dwayne and Tunde, I hope y'all got one sports question for this brother. The second question I have is this right here: who's going to be the starting quarterback after Drew Brees' retirement in New Orleans?
Jameis Winston.
What school did he go to?
Florida State. That was my dude, man. Florida State.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dwayne, Tunde, y'all got anything for him?
Now, whether he stays depends on how many interceptions he throws now, but I do believe that he will beat out Taysom Hill to be the starting quarterback. I mean, if he doesn't, then that's shame on Jameis.
Nice.
Yes.
Did they hear? Did the audience hear your question? All right. So repeat that question. Repeat that question again, Dwayne, and open your mic up.
All right. So I said, did Drew Brees wait an extra year to retire so that Tom Brady wouldn't come to the Saints and win a Super Bowl?
That's some petty ass shit.
The answer is yes, because one, Drew Brees did not want Tom Brady breaking his records right away, and Drew Brees, to his credit, felt that. They probably got robbed a couple of years ago, felt that he could probably bring the team and take them to the Super Bowl. And to be quite honest, they were the favorite to face off against Kansas City at the beginning of the season in the Super Bowl. So they had a lot going for them, but obviously, because they signed him to, I think, a 1 or 2 year deal. He did not want to see Tom Brady come there with that team and take him to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, it was petty. But at the end of the day, we saw, Tom Brady is what he is, man. He's the GOAT for a reason.
The Red Rifle is taking the Bears to the Super Bowl. You out your goddamn mind. That ain't happening. Yeah, you out your mind. That ain't happening. You capping. I know you excited. And I know I'm going to give you $5 back for that one. What's your Instagram? I'm gonna give you your $5 back for that one.
Here's what's bad, man.
T-Bone, you tripping, T-Bone.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah, that's a very important question, right? So this is gonna be the last sports ball question because I do want to get back into some politics.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
To Russell Wilson. First off, why is Seattle even contemplating trading Russell Wilson? And what's going to happen to Russell Wilson? Where is he going? He's probably the biggest,
Well, here's the thing. It's not like they want to trade him. Russell Wilson wants out. So, and I don't know if it's more so his wife, Sierra, not wanting to be in Seattle any longer because she is an entertainer. Maybe she wants, LA, Chicago, Dallas, New York, be in that market where, it can help her music career some. But Russell, one of the things that I guess that doesn't work in his favor is Seattle gave up everything for you. They got rid of most of the Legion of Boom, and out of that locker room to help you out and to make that team your team. Plus, they signed you to 2 contract extensions. Just 2 years ago, they signed you to $100 and some odd million deal and gave you $70 million guaranteed. Now you just want to up and leave because you don't have the quote unquote input, as you would say, which I don't have a problem with him having input, but that's but I think his logic in trying to get out of there doesn't really make sense. And a lot of his former teammates call him out on it. The Chicago Bears, if the rumors are true, that they try to give up 3 first-round draft picks, a 2nd or 3rd round next year, and 2 starters, and the Seattle Seahawks said no. Mind you, they said 2 starters. I don't know if it would have been a quarterback or 2 players on defense, Lance Briggs and a few others. I don't know. But at the moment, they seem hell-bent on, and kind of like the Houston Texans, they seem hell-bent on not taking any offers for Russell Wilson. So if you're Russell Wilson, what's it look like going back into the locker room? I don't know.
You know what? They just need to trade to each other. Send Russell to Texas and send
Hey, I'd like that. That would be look. If
they just need to trade them too.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Hold on. Deshaun Watson with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett with that defense? Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Now, he ain't got an offensive line, so he might still be running for his life.
You need an offensive line.
No. We just paid big money for Joe Thuney. And the one look. Understand one thing before we go further. One thing I respect about Brett Veach last year, and you can check it. He turned $177 salary cap into almost $700 million in contract extensions with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and I believe Chris Jones. So he did that with $177. We got about $30 million cap space now. So what do you think he's gonna do?
All right. I got you. I do see Kansas City going back. I do see Kansas City going back to the Super Bowl. But you never know in the NFL. And the last thing I want to say about the NFL is, fuck those guys. They still owe Kaepernick a job. But not. Let me change this. Let me change that statement.
Yeah. But no, they do owe him a job.
They owe him a job. All right. Well, before we go on sports ball, that was enough sports ball, and thank you. We can that was exciting. I kind of want to do that again. Trap Squad, what y'all think about a sports show on our channel? Y'all think about a sports show? Yeah, what y'all think about sports? So let us know in the comment section. We can actually have this a thing because this is something that me and Darren were contemplating for a while. So let us know what you think about it. Send them squirrels up if you want a little bit more sports action away from the clickbaity political thirst trap, so we can keep it all politics, and maybe even make a little bit more money so Dwayne and Tune can get paid. And I don't even hear him laughing in my ear. So them niggas serious.
I know.
They're like, yo, hey, this nigga better not be fucking. Last story of the night at 9:53. A teacher who reportedly forced a 5-year-old to clean out his own feces from toilet is placed on leave. Ashley Murray says her son, Ashton, experienced trauma as a result of the incident that is taking legal action to protect him. Little Rock, Arkansas. Of course it's Arkansas, man. Teacher was placed on administrative leave after community outrage erupted over claims that she forced a 5-year-old student to clean out his feces from a toilet. But isn't that where the feces is supposed to go?
I want to know what color was the student.
Ashley Murray says her son, Ashton, experienced trauma as a result of the incident and is taking legal action to protect him.
Oh, shit. Should have known.
Ashton supporters launched a GoFundMe. The student was black. I don't know what color teacher.
Yeah, that's what I see now. Yeah, I see it on the screen.
Yeah. I'm reading through this thing. He just came to me and said, she made me get my boo-boo out with my bare hands in the toilet. Ooh, I would have slapped the living taste out that woman. I'm like, are you serious?
Let me tell you a quick story, Marcus.
He kept saying it. He kept telling everybody, and I know when he's lying. Ashley told me it's degrading for a child, so I don't feel like any child should have to go through this. She continued. Basically, made him go in the toilet, get his feces and dirty tissue out of the toilet. Ashley took quick action with her son and made her aware and enlisted the help of her mother, Tammy. The local community has also rallied around the trio and completely dumbfounded that an educator would encourage such a mortifying act. Supporters launched a GoFundMe, which has already doubled its goal of $5,000. In response to outrage, Pulaski County Special School District launched an investigation, but Ashley believes the school administration actions haven't gone far enough. Of course, she needs to be terminated. She does. She does not need to be teaching in any school district. She does not need to be around kids. Her license needs to be taken. Darren, what you do if one of your descendants or one of your kids or one of your nephews or nieces gets told to take out poop from the toilet?
Well, first of all, that wouldn't happen. Let me just say that now. But let me tell you a quick story that happened to me when I was in elementary school. I was in the 5th grade, and this is one of the reasons why when I was on the show with you and Mondale, we talked about Black history, and I gave a shout out to my mom. This is the reason why. I was going to school with my auntie. She was a year older than me, and we were eating breakfast. We were eating breakfast to start the school day off. Well, for whatever reason, my teacher just came out of nowhere and literally snatched me up out of my seat while I'm sitting, next to my auntie. We sitting there eating breakfast, snatched me up out of my seat and was yelling at me for something that I had no idea what the hell she was talking about, didn't do. What she failed to understand is that, one, I had a Black mama, and two, the principal went to my church. So my auntie let my mom know what happened. My mom, the very next day, because this is a few years ago, I'm not going to date myself, but my mom came up to the school, whooped the holy hell out of that teacher, and the principal did not call the police or anything like that because she was like, "You will not put your hands on my child." My mom beat the shit out of it. Was a white female teacher. She beat the shit out of her in school. At school, and then ended up going to work, and her job was right across the street from the school.
Hey, well, we're not condoning violence on clickbaity political thirst trap, but that was a well-earned ass whooping.
No, hey, if I'm lying, I'm flying. My mom would tell the story. I mean, that's what she did. Because again, like she says me. I mean, I was like, hey, I was straight.
Did you get to see it?
Yeah, well, hell yeah. I mean, I came. My mom brought me to school, of course.
Okay,
I mean,
so wait. Let's
I was hold on. I was in shock.
Let's walk through this real quick.
Okay.
So
yes.
So your mom,
dude.
Your mom says, "Come on, baby, we going to school."
Oh no. First of all, it wasn't no come on, baby. It wasn't none of that at all. Now you got to say, my mom. We lived at that time. We lived in housing projects after my mom and father got divorced, and she other kids got brothers and sisters, stuff like that. But my mom was like, once because I didn't tell my mom what happened because I was in a state of shock because I didn't know what the hell what was going on. I told the principal, and my principal was like, "Well, I'll let your mama know." But also my auntie, again, she was a year older than me. She also let my mom know what was going on. My mom, one of those people who she's a very beautiful woman and she looks like she's not threatening, but my mom could whoop some ass. And so I tell people, don't let the light skin fool you because hey, my mom about that life. She came up to the school the next day. Again, I'm in the 5th grade, and we lived across the street. I wasn't living in a house. No, we lived in a house right across the street from the church that we went to, which was about 6-7 blocks from the school. So we would walk to school, whatever. My mom drove to school that day because, again, she has to take off her job to come up to the school, and she worked for my pastor, who was a political, who was a county legislative chairman, and so. When she had to go to the school for that, because of that, oh no, she was already pissed because now she's losing money off the job to come up there. So she came up there. The principal, she asked him, "Where's this classroom at?" He already knew what was about to go down, and like I said, he went to our church, so he just went back to the office, told my mom what room number it was, and she went in there. Yeah, no. He told my mom the room number of my classroom. I didn't know what she was going to do. I thought she was going to talk to her. She went in there. The lady, she like, "Oh, hi, Mel, how can I?" And the first thing she did was smack the shit out of her. And then she just started whooping her, talking about, "Don't you ever put your hands on my son?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was just like, now. Mind you, I'm in the 5th grade, so oh shit didn't come in my head. I was like, "Oh damn, my mama fucking crazy." And so, so when that happened, man, look. People in my class were like, "Oh shit, Darren's mama's crazy, man. We ain't fucking with him like that." And so, I mean, after that, she went to work. The teacher really couldn't do anything because she knew she was in the wrong. And the principal, I mean, we was at church the following Sunday, and we just laugh about it.
Hey, Show Kings, you're absolutely right. That principal was a whole ass snitch.
Oh man. No. Here's the thing: if the principal didn't speak up, my mom was going to deal with him at church. So,
right, okay, somebody's going to catch these hands.
Yeah,
somebody's going to catch these hands. You need to figure out who's going to be.
The principal did what he was supposed to do because the principal the principal knew my mama because he's been at our church all our lives, so he know my mama and know how crazy she is. So the fact that my mom got to come up there, he's like room 223 or whatever the room number was. He just went back into his office and was like, "Should I see you at church on Sunday?" So. I mean, my mama crazy, dude. I love her to death, but she crazy.
Hey, I love your mama too, man. Shout out to moms.
Yeah, shout out
to moms. The principal was like, "Okay, you know what? I see what's going down. Listen, I'm gonna draw you a map real quick. You go 40 down.
Hey, look, you got to remember this is back in 1989, I believe. 1988, 88, 89. This is back time where no cell phones, you know what I'm saying? Not, it's not like you have phones in the classroom or anything like that. Man, my mom, bro. Whoo. Mom was about that life, bro.
So shout out to Mama Smith.
That's why I never got in trouble in school. That's why I never got in trouble in school because my sister, who's a couple years younger than me, she's 3 years younger than me. She slapped a girl in class. My mom left her job because the principal called her. My mom left her job, came up to the school, walked in my sister's classroom, smacked the shit out of my sister, and then left to go back to work. That was all she did. And man, my mom, hey, dude. Anybody can catch me hands from my mom, bro.
Hey man, she ain't watching the show, is she? I hate to like. I hate to
she knows it's coming on tonight, man.
Hey, okay. Well, give me fair warning before I say anything about you. You don't want no more delicious, folks. His name is Darren.
Now she know about that too. She know about that.
Oh, she knows. Hey, she didn't snatch your ass up off the pole when you were dancing.
I was a grown ass man. No, she wasn't. Nah, I was grown then. I wasn't living in her household.
That's right. Hey, last thing, real quick, man. You see that at link, that Act Blue link that I sent you, Dwayne? Go ahead, put that on the screen real quick.
All right.
Listen. This is not a political show. It's the best political show. It's not just a political show. It's one of the best political shows. And I would be remiss if I didn't put. Now listen, you can support whoever you want to. But in this race, I'm gonna take my privilege of being the host of this thing and being a co-creator of this whole channel and ask you guys to go support Nina Turner for Congress. And the reason why is because, like, we need Nina Turner in Congress. We need a Congresswoman Nina Turner. And let me tell you why we need a Congresswoman Nina Turner. First off, this is no slight against her opponent, because her opponent has done some good things, but the national establishment wants to keep Nina Turner away from DC. If you think first off, if you think that Bernie Sanders got pushed back from the establishment, imagine being a little bit more progressive than Bernie Sanders, add on multiple ounces of blackness, and be a black woman. They don't want to see Nina Turner, anti-establishment Nina Turner in DC. So I need y'all to go. And also, could we please put this link into the chat room? I need y'all to go, and I need y'all to donate to Nina Turner. She got into the 31st to raise as much money as she possibly can. I'm probably going to max out to her, and I don't even really tell people, how I donate, but I'm going to give a lot of money to Senator Turner. I'll say this right here, and people ask, well, why do you support Senator Turner? Well, let me tell you two things. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story real quick before we can call this a day. I was one of the main reasons why Senator Turner came over to Bernie Sanders. I met Senator Turner at an event in Phoenix, Arizona, and listen, I'm not the only person that said something to her, but I basically was like, I'm going to make this happen if it's the last thing that I do. When I met her, she was still with Hillary. And Senator Turner has been speaking the prophetic truth since the moment that I met her. So that's one thing. But more important, like because I've traveled with her, I've worked with her, I know her. And when Bernie Sanders didn't endorse me, when I ran for state representative in Arizona, that's right. You know who did? Nina Turner. She came to an event that I had in Phoenix, Arizona, and she endorsed me publicly. And I will never, ever, 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 ever forget that moment that woman did that for me. So now I'm asking you guys, Trap Squad, to get your shickles together. And tonight, let's try to get her a couple of bucks, right? Let's try to make sure that she gets across the finish line, because the progressive movement needs Nina Turner. And if I tell you that y'all need me to have as many Congress people that I know in Congress, that's important. That's an important thing, because, I talk to these people. I'm kind of being a little selfish, but I want my friends in Congress because I know what my friends are capable of doing. So y'all go tonight send some money for Nina Turner. Let's get her in Congress. You got any final thoughts there, D?
Nah, man, I'm feeling you what you said about Nina Turner, because you got to remember the establishment seem to want to keep her out even more so than they want to keep AOC in. I mean, that's how dangerous she is, and the threat that they feel she is to the to the establishment if she were to make it to Congress. And look, man, I mean, she would just drop nuggets on Twitter every day. It'll just be one line. Women's health is whatever she says, I always have to like and share, because she's just the truth. And I hope and pray that she wins, because she is a voice that they won't be able to silence. She will call out the racist, evil things that the Republicans do, and she will shame the Democrats if need be. I mean, and that's something that is missing right now, is speaking truth to power. Again, we talked a little bit about it earlier about the filibuster just in its passing as it relates to HR 1 and stuff like that. If we don't get that passed, one, Democrats are shooting their own selves, shooting their own selves in the foot. But if we don't get it passed, it will have negative effect at the ballot box for Democrats, because you cannot stand before Democratic voters and ask them to vote for you, but you can't stand up for the things that they want. And there's a reason why Mitch McConnell is going all hellfire and brimstone as it relates to the filibuster, because they know if the Democrats do any type of changes or be able to change it with 50+1, and they can get that voting rights bill in the HR 1 and the John Lewis Voting Act passed, they'll never win another. They'll never win another national election. And I think the thing that frustrates me the most, and I talk about it generally when I come on the show, is when we have Democrats who don't behave and act like Democrats. And then, we have, and I've seen it twice, Chuck Schumer has been on MSNBC, not only on the Rachel Maddow show, but also on The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. And they've asked him about the filibuster, changing it or whatever, about the Voting Rights Act. And he'll get out there, he'll start doing all this stuff and showmanship and talk about how things need to get done and stuff. Well, no. I need a definitive answer. What are you going to do to make sure it's going to get passed? Because HR 1 and Senate and SR 1, that's the most important legislation for Democrats. And they both, of course, supposed to be, including the Voting Rights Act and stuff dealing with John Lewis. If your own Democrats can't get that passed, and you don't do a carve out to avoid the filibuster or whatever to get it done, then we don't deserve to be in power. And to be quite honest, I would hold the voters as well as the media accountable for not pushing them to do those type of things when they come stand before you next year when they're running for re-election.
And you know who will call them out? Senator Turner.
Clickbaity political thirst.
A Congresswoman Turner. Congresswoman Nina Turner would actually be such a really dope thing, because everything that you just mentioned, she would be right there, square one, calling it out. Hey, Darren, thank you for joining me tonight, man.
Anytime, man. I'm a phone call away. Bro.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow. Let's talk through some sports stuff. But besides that, thank you for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We appreciate every single time that you come on and you join us, Trap Squad. We love you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about our podcast. We have a podcast. This is going to be on Apple Podcasts. You no longer have to watch a YouTube video. You can go to different venues and literally hear our show. Thanks a lot. Peace out, y'all.
Trap Squad, 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 Trap Squad.
Hey, Clickbaity political. Yeah, Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent Clickbaity.
Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad.
those squirrels up if you with it.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap
Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you.
Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad,
ThirstTrap.
trap squad, trap squad,
Hey,
trap squad,
let me hear ya.
trap squad, trap squad,
Throw those squirrels up if you with it.
trap squad, trap squad,
Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you.
trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.